Morning, everybody. It's like 8:24 in the morning. I am going to head off to Minnesota today. It's going to do a road trip. Going to go see my mother. Going to go see my son, uncle, sister, my brother. I'm not going to be able to see him. He's going to be gone. But going to head out. Got my stuff loaded up and going to take myself with me. And so just give me a minute here and we'll be on our way. So Randy, you ready to go on your trip off to Minnesota? Yeah, I'm ready. I got my pillow back here so I can take a nap while you're driving. Because I'm not going to drive. I'm just going to sit here and ride right along. Probably won't talk much on the way there, but you can entertain them if you want. I'm probably just going to sleep. So, anyways, let's get going. All right, let's go. You got the keys? Oh, here they are. I didn't see that you'd set them down there. All right, we're full of gas. Looks like we're good to go. Do some driving. Got about a 4-hour trip approximately. Let's see, we'll time it. It's 8:36, but we're gonna stop here, so it'll probably be our only stop unless I have to use the restroom along the way. And of course my partner here that's riding along with me, we'll see if he has to go, because you never know what's gonna be up with him. He might need to go too, but we'll see. So you gonna go in with me? No, I'm not going in with you. I want to take a nap. Why would I go inside? All right, well, fine. Just stay out here then. You don't gotta use the restroom? No. All right, well, fine. I'll be right back. All right, now, before I leave, are you sure you don't want nothing? I mean, nothing at all? I know you're sitting there looking at me like that. I'm just asking. No? No, I don't want nothing. Okay, that's fine. Let's hit the road then. Got Buc-ee's. Busy place in the morning. Let's see, you got they have breakfast burritos and stuff in there, different things. I don't want nothing. I'm going to take a nap. All right, fine. And they got some coffee here. All right, here we go. It is 8:43. This little setup here is crazy. We got a stop sign. We got a green light. So you got to stop for the stop sign even though the light is green. So here we are. We made it across the river, the Missouri River. We're now in Iowa. This is Council Bluffs. We've got to go from Council Bluffs to Des Moines. It's about a couple hours. And then from there, we're going to get on I-35 and go a couple hours north to Elbert Lee, Minnesota. It's in Freeborn County. It's the county fair has started. It started yesterday. I plan on taking you along with me. I plan on going to the fair, and I plan on taking my phone, of course, and so I'm going to do some recording. We'll do a little recording of the county fair. We'll walk around, look at some of the exhibits. There's always going to be some farm equipment. There's always going to be farm equipment. It's farming country. Interstate here is a major fair view for all the semis to get all the goods across the country. I-80, it goes all the way through the United States. It runs all the way to California, and so it's a major interstate. It brings lots of commerce through a lot of semis, a lot of different things. But anyways, I ain't gonna bore you with the drive. As you can see, it's all country driving from here until we get to Des Moines. Both sides of the interstate here, what you see is corn growing, field corn. This will all be turned into either alcohol for cars, or it'll be turned into animal feed. But let me turn you off, and I'll get back with you in a bit. Just a little checkup. It's 9:36. Starting to hit some of the Iowa windmills. This Walnut. There's lots of windmills in Iowa. We will see lots of them on our way. Look off to your left right here. You'll see there's two there, and then on the right there's about, looks like 4 in a row. There's a couple alongside of me, and then off to the right there's a whole farmer's field just full of them. I think there's about 10 out there. Turn you a little bit, get you a little bit over there. There's some over on that side. There's some behind us. Lots and lots of windmills. The breakfast burrito I had, it wasn't worth it. I didn't enjoy it at all. It was, the bacon had some bacon in it, some eggs. It just didn't have a very good flavor. I mean, you can go to I kind of enjoy the McDonald's ones a lot better. They got a lot more flavor to them comparative to them. I don't know if any one of them are healthy for you, but it was just something to put in my stomach, I guess. You can see those windmills there. I got a friend that I went to high school with. He works on them things. Climbs up to the top of them things and works on them. He take pictures from up there all the time. We got ourselves a convoy, looks like, going on. How many of y'all remember that movie? Those smoky Smokey and the Bandit movie, all them old car, truck movies back in the day. Wonder how many people back that watch YouTube today had CB radios in their cars, CB radios at home, listen to the different people talk, you know, way before cell phones. So here we are, another area. Let's see what I can. We got windmills over here. Like I said, Iowa's got windmills everywhere. There's all around over here. It's gonna be a little darker. Take my phone down out of my window. It's getting too hot. Let it cool down a little bit, but you see them things are huge. Surprised we haven't seen any coming down the road. Usually you see them being trucked down the road, but we'll see when we're our little trip. I just passed another highway patrolman, had a I don't know if he's doing an inspection on a semi or what, but he had a semi truck pulled over. Been nice. Iowa's been doing some road work. They've repaved some of these roads through here. Just if you look off in the distance there, you can see all them windmills. There's something kind of interesting. This rest area over here, that big tall white blade there is from one of the windmills. Now I'm not too sure if it's a windmill blade that something happened to it and why it's there. I couldn't tell you. I've always kind of wondered about that. Is why would they you know, that had to cost the money to put a windmill blade up, just standing up straight in the air, not doing anything. So I don't know. It's just one of them things. I ain't never stopped at that rest area just to see if there's any placard. Maybe on my way back from Minnesota, maybe if the weather's nice and stuff and I feel like it, I'll stop if I remember to. That's half the thing. You know, we're talking, you know, remembering that you talked about stopping at something, or you were going to do something when you're recording something. That's just hilarious sometimes. You know, you or somebody, maybe they recorded it and it just didn't turn out and it gets cut out of the video. They say they're going to do something, but yet they don't do it. I think it's so funny sometimes. But you know, I understand. I've been trying to vlog and, you know, videotape certain things, and you say you're going to do something, show something, and all of a sudden you get to the end and you forgot to do it. Whoops. But so, you know, promising to do things on video, it's pretty hard sometimes, because you promise that you're going to do it and then you don't do it. Or if you did and the video didn't turn out, you know, you got a terrible something just happened, you know. I've had that happen. Oh, we're getting closer here to Des Moines. It's 10 o'clock. So birthplace of John Wayne. Here we are. We're also this is where this is Madison County. So anybody that's ever watched Clint Eastwood in the movie The Bridges of Madison County, this is where that takes place at. There are some old bridges here. There's a map you can go follow and go see some of those old bridges. Just go further. Yeah, we're like 21 miles from Des Moines. So, anyways, I just thought I'd give you a little update where I am. And I need to be a little quiet. Seem to be rustling my sleeping companion. So, anyways, I don't want to wake him up, so let's let him sleep. Well, FYI, it's 10:38, so it's about a 2-hour drive to Des Moines. Going the speed limit about 70 miles an hour, so there she is. It's a neat old building. Well, I thought I'd turn the camera around, I guess, and record me instead of just the road. I was sitting there thinking, oh man, I'm just talking and all you're seeing is the road. But, I think about so much stuff in life, things that have gone on. Think about people that I don't see anymore. Think about my grandparents. Forgive me. I really miss my grandfather. Miss him a lot. He's been gone for a long time. I mean, a long time. But I have him in my heart. In my mind and all the memories. Just I wanted to create so many more memories with him before he was gone. We got to do so much together. I mean, there's things that we did, and being a kid and being young, you don't think about how you're going to not see your grandfather. And when someone's gone, And as you get older, you really realize what they did and what they did and brought to your life. You know, my grandfather, he was something. I mean, that man could fix anything. He did wire. He could wire a house. He could fix a car. And the friends, oh my God. You know, even my wife talks about how, you know, people used to come to her mom's house, you know, and spend time with each other, you know, back in the day. And I really feel today that that's something that our world is missing. We don't have that we don't have that connection with people. We call on the phone. They're, you know, technology, I think, has ruined some of that, because, you know, sitting on the porch listening to the radio, you know, people would, that's what you did. And your neighbors did the same thing. So you would talk to your neighbor, you know. I don't know. I really miss. I just miss the things that we used to do. I miss Christmas with them. And yeah, the presents were cool and everything, but it was the visual of the presents more than the presents meant. To see, I look back at old pictures that I've found. I wish I could find the old movies, because I know my grandfather took a lot of movies, and I can't find them. I don't know where they're at. Which is, I wish I could find them, because they're old 8mm movies, and I would love to have them put into DVD, so I could share them on YouTube or on Facebook or something. I wish I could find those old movies. I mean, but picnics, you know, summer picnics with the family. You know, I found some old pictures where we went to go visit a grave site. It was my uncle's grave. He passed away when he was a young boy. He passed away before my other uncle was even born. And yeah, I don't know. I remember that day. I remember going there. I remember us going to the gravesite. My sister lost her glasses in a great big field, and we could not find them. I don't know exactly what happened and how she lost them, but she lost her glasses, and yeah, I remember that. I remember that day. Remembrance Day. Yeah. We went to a park in Rochester, Minnesota, by the way, where we had a picnic. We got to play. There was there's a lot of Canadian geese that hang out there, so you can feed them. It's a nice park. It always has been a pretty nice park. But yeah, my grandmother grew up there, and her parents. So, and I'm trying to remember, but my grandmother was and her mother worked for the Mayo Brothers, you know. So if you've heard of Mayo Clinic, it started in Rochester, Minnesota, and so that they lived there, and I believe my great grandmother did laundry or cleaned for one of the Mayo Brothers. But yeah, so, which is pretty cool. I mean, you think that, hey, you know, that's, They were service workers, but so what? You know what? Someone had to do it. It made them some money so that they could live and survive. You know, you're talking about, you know, way back in the day. You know, that's, you know, there's so much. I wonder what our country would be like if we had a depression. You know, where, you know, you had ration food. You know, how would this, you know, how things would change. You know, here I am driving to go see my mother. I wouldn't be able to do that, you know, because they would ration the gas. You know, you'd have so much gas to get to work, so much gas to do this. And how many places would close, you know, because they just couldn't make it. You know, they wouldn't have enough money to even survive to keep the doors open. But anyways, I don't know. I just rambling on. You know, a memory that I have, and it goes back to my grandfather again. And how many people remember on Sunday, it was very hard to go anywhere and buy anything? You know, most places were closed. It was a day of rest, and it was you know, I think it kind of was a day that, you know, if I remember as a family, that's when you spent time with family. You know, I really think that there's a little bit to that being a part of our problem in the United States and in the world all in general, is that we don't take the time because we're always working. It's not like on a Sunday where everything was closed, so everybody was home. You know, you thought about what you were going to do. You know, it's like, hey, you know, next weekend, let's have a family get together. Let's go to the park. I mean, it didn't have to be a family reunion. It was just a family picnic. It was a family get together. You know, we used to go to Minnehaha Falls in Minneapolis. You know, that's where I grew up for my younger part of my years. And then, you know, as I started going to school, we moved away. We moved to Albert Lea. So I finished my education in Albert Lea, but I started in Minneapolis, and I only went to kindergarten, I think maybe first grade, if I remember right, or part of first grade, and then we moved away. So, yeah, the whole thing of things not being open during a Sunday, you know, and even on a Saturday, you know, there was a lot of things that weren't open. You know, they maybe were open for a little bit, but they weren't open all day, and if they were open at all. So on a Saturday and a Sunday, you know, that was the time you could spend with your family, because people weren't working. They had the time to be able to go visit and go see family and go see friends. I remember being at my grandmother and grandfather's house because of this. This is why I remember this so vividly, of things not being open. My grandfather collected everything, nuts and bolts. If there was, you know, growing up and living in a time where he didn't have things and having to save things for the future, you know, people would call it being a hoarder, but it really wasn't considered being a hoarder back in the day. And I think that's where a lot of being a hoarder kind of stems from, is because their parents did it and they're used to that style of save everything because you don't know what you're going to need. And with that, you know, like I said, the people would come to my grandfather's house, and as they come to my grandfather's house, you know, they needed a bolt or a nut or, you know, maybe some kind of a fixture or a faucet washer. You know, back, you know, some of the old faucets, you know, they had these black washers that when you close the faucet, there's a black sealed washer that seals the water so it doesn't come up through the faucet, you know, and someone maybe needed one of them, or just so many different things. You know, my grandfather had everything. I mean, he even had paint. You know, he had some paint on the racks. You know, some, I think, a hardware closed around the corner or something, and he got a whole bunch of stuff from them. But yeah, so that's how I remember. And my people knew my grandfather, and they knew, hey, let's go see Al. You know, Al probably has it in his garage. And so if they were working on a project on the weekend, they would go to my grandfather's house. My grandfather didn't charge for nothing. He gave it to him. Oh, you need a nut bolt? Come on, I'll give it to you. Come on, let's go out to the garage. You know, they'd come out, you know, and he goes, oh, come on, let's go out to the garage. We'll go, you know, we'll go see what we can find. And, you know, I would bet 99% of the time they left with what they needed, or with something that would work in substitute of what they needed. If they needed a nut for something and he didn't have that nut, and he had a bolt and a nut in a, you know, different configuration, they left with that and was able to do their home repair over the weekend, you know. And it is nice that, you know, on the weekend to be able to go to this hardware store, be able to go to get this stuff in today's world. But in the same thing, like I said, I don't think it's good for us. I think it would be way better if we went back to that way of life that things are closed on the weekend. Those 2 days need to be a day where you rest, where you get to be with family, you get to spend time with family. You know, this era of, you know, so much families have moved away from each other too. You know, look at me. I live 4 hours away from my mother, and I don't like it. I have grandchildren that live with me, and I love and I adore them. Oh my God, I love and adore them. I do. But I have 2 grandchildren in Minneapolis that I've seen, but I have never got to really spend a lot of time with. And I don't like that at all. Yeah, I don't. Well, we're 198 miles away from Minneapolis, so we got about 100 miles to go. 198. It's about 99 miles from Albert Lea to Minneapolis. So basically split it in half. Let's just say we got, you know, 100 miles to go to Albert Lea. It is 11:25. But yeah, I miss my son. I miss being able to be there and being able to help him do what things that he wants to do. I miss that, you know, having that time. But let me shut you off here, and I'll get back with you here as this drive progresses. Like I said, we got 100 miles to go, so we'll be coming up on some big windmill farms here in a little bit. Actually, you're starting to see some of them, but not where there's lots and lots, hundreds almost, it looks like. So when we get a little closer and we can see them, if the foliage of the trees that they have planted along the side of the interstate don't block us out. So anyways,